Hello students, we are meeting after a long time for your class 10 especially, because for other classes we have done, but especially regarding SST if I talk, we have not done. So we'll begin with history. Let's move towards history, and as you know that there are 4 topics and 4 chapters in our history book, in our SST book. So out of those 4 there are 3 regarding Indian history and 1 is regarding world history. Now what about Indian history? Indian history has been divided into 3 parts here. One is about ancient, then second one is about medieval, and then third one is about modern. So the first one, ancient history begins with 325 BCE to 1206 it comes. Though it is counted up to 700, around 700 CE, but then also we can carry forward it up to 1206. And then medieval period begins. When the medieval period begins, it begins at 1206 to 1757, and then 1757 to, that is known as modern history. If we talk about the periodization of history, who has done the periodization at first? James Reeves was the first one who done, James Mill also. James Mill and James Reeves, these two are the people who have done modernization and periodization. James Mill की periodization के साथ problem क्या था that he committed a mistake. He committed it as religious basis. Like he made them classified. The first one was Hindu, then second one Muslim, and third one was British. So that was not at all okay if we talk regarding India. Why it's not okay? Because in India we just go through all the things in a very secular way. So this has been classified again, and the one is ancient, second one medieval, and the third one is modern. So if we talk about our first chapter begins with BC. Now what does the word BC means? You might have this in your mind. What is BC? BC means before Christ era. How do we get to know about this? This is completely about timeline. What is timeline? Timeline means a lot in history. If we do not have timeline in our mind, then we cannot go through history. But do not think that history is just cramming and memorizing date. No. History means we just have to go through in a proper way and in a chronological way. हिस्ट्री को जब भी हमें पढ़ना है तो हमें उसको सीक्वेंस में पढ़ना होगा. अगर हम उसको ऊपर नीचे करके पढ़ेंगे, पहले मैं आपको 1700 पढ़ाऊं और बाद में मैं आपको 325 BC पढ़ाऊं, तो वो शायद आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूजियस हो जाएगा. So we do not go according to that. Now this timeline, in this timeline, how this BC and AD period begins. BC means before Christ era. Actually, our Gregorian calendar or international calendar, it just takes Jesus Christ's birth as his initial portion. So whose birth? Jesus Christ's birth, they think that it is the first portion of CE. And before that, means there it comes BCE and there it comes CE. And here is the beginning of, here is the birth time of Jesus Christ. So यहाँ के बाद में जो भी आएगा वो माइनस में चलेगा. Means here it would be like -400, -700, -900, like that it would go. And here it would be 200, then 500, then 800, and so on it will go on. So at first we will talk regarding this time, this CE. 325 CE is mentioned at first. But what about before that? Before that, India had Mahajanpada's Kal. What is Mahajanpada? Right now we have districts and states. We have that our entire country has been divided into districts and states and so on. So before that, if we say, so what about that districts and states? Previously, the smallest part was known as Kul. Then bigger than this was Vish, V-I-S-H. If you remember, it has been told you also, Vish or Vishay. Kul का जो मुखिया होता था, he was known as Kulpati, and Vish its head was known as Vishpati also and Vishaypati also. Then Gram, then Jana, and then Mahajana. So this is what it has been classified. So after that, these all have been just as same. Jana has been converted into Janapad, which is recently known as district. जन को बाद में जनपद नाम से जाना जाने लगा, जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं, डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के तौर पे जानते हैं. एंड लेटर ऑन नेक्स्ट स्टेप वाज महाजनपद. तो महाजनपद वाज स्टेट एट दैट टाइम, इवन दैट वाज सेंटर फॉर देम, बट राइट नाउ दिस इज जस्ट काउंटेड एज अ स्टेट. So these are Janapada system and Mahajanpada system. Now what was there and how many Mahajanpadas were there in Rajasthan? If we talk about entire Mahajanpadas, total how many Mahajanpadas were there? In some books we see that there are 22 Mahajanpadas, in some it is mentioned that 17, in some it is mentioned 19, but we cannot say for them authentic. We have just a written text of Buddhist. And in that Buddhist text, it is mentioned that there were entire 16 Mahajanpadas. How many Mahajanpadas were there? 16. But according to whom? Not according to me and not according to any other. It was just according to Anguttara Nikaya. Now what is Anguttara Nikaya? It was a Buddhist text, and where it is mentioned, Anguttara Nikaya, it is mentioned in Pitakas. What is Pitak? Pitak word का exact meaning होता है bucket या टोकरी, जिसको आप बोलते हो, बाल्टी बोलते हो, जो भी, bucket. So this is known as 3 Pitakas. What are those 3 Pitakas? Means there are 3 tokeris in which Buddhist knowledge has been inserted. What is inserted in them? 3 buckets are there, 3 baskets are there, whatever you count. In those it is mentioned. Now one is Sutta Pitak. What is that? Sutta Pitak. Second one is Abhidhamma Pitak, and then next it is Vinay Pitak. So like that it is counted. And this Anguttara Nikaya, it is the 5th chapter of Sutta Pitak. From where it has been taken and from where we come to know if this question comes. Because this chapter, if we talk about this first chapter, it carries how many marks? 5 marks. 4 plus 1. No? 4 marks, detailed question answer, or you can say just short question answer. Not very short also and not very long also. And 1 is 1 word. तो वन वर्ड क्वेश्चंस अगर हम बात करें, हमने जितना क्वेश्चन पढ़ा उसमें कितना वन वर्ड क्वेश्चन आ गया. फर्स्ट वन वर्ड क्वेश्चन, हाउ मेनी महाजनपदास वर देयर, देन अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट देयर वर 16 महाजनपदास, देन फ्रॉम वेयर वी कम टू नो दैट अंगुत्तर निकाय इज फ्रॉम which topic, who told it, at what time it begins. So there are lot many questions. In fact, this is entirely from the first page itself. From where? First page. So this is about entire India. Now Mahajanpadas in Rajasthan. When we read about India, then how can we leave Rajasthan behind? Obviously we have to think about that also. How many Mahajanpadas were there in Rajasthan? There were 4 Mahajanpadas. It is not about that ki entire Rajasthan was covered in that. Even some nearby places were also there, like little bit portion of MP, little bit portion of UP was also involved in that. So on. How many Mahajanpadas? There were 4. The first one was Jangal. What was the first Mahajanpad? Jangal. If we talk about second, that was Matsya. What is the second one? Matsya. And third one, Shivi. And the fourth one was, so on we will go. But first we will read about these 3. So Jangal Mahajanpad, it is about which place? It carries Bikaner and Jodhpur. Entire Bikaner is Jodhpur, and not only district, it is talk about division. हम लोग पढ़ते हैं ना, आपको बताया भी क्लास में, संभाग. सिर्फ बीकानेर जोधपुर जिला नहीं, बीकानेर और जोधपुर संभाग जितना बड़ा है, वो पूरा पोर्शन किस में आता था? जांगल देश में आता था. Now what is that Jangal known at present? At present, even if we talk about Bikaner, then it has this name, Jangal. So and where it has been inscribed, it is mentioned in Mahabharata. Where it has been mentioned? In Mahabharata. Next, Matsya. It is in Alwar. Where it is? In Alwar. Then Shivi. Yes, the fourth one I did not write at that time. It is Sursing. What was the fourth one? Sursing. Shivi and Sursing. These two from that. JMSS. How you can remember it? JMSS means double S is there. J for Jangal, M for Matsya, S for Shivi and S for Sursen. Now, first I will explain you about Sursen because Shivi is little bit deeper one and it would be helpful for you in second chapter also. So first Sursen. Sursen was there adjoining portion of UP. Its capital was Mathura. And if we talk about their capital, Jangal's capital was Ahichhatrapur. What was the capital of Jangal? Ahichhatrapur, जिसे हम वर्तमान में क्या कहते हैं? नागौर. That time it was known as Ahichhatrapur. Now Matsya's capital, right now you can say means Alwar region, Jaipur region, it was there. Its capital was Bairat. What was the capital of Matsya? Bairat. And Sursen's capital was Mathura. What was the capital of this? Mathura. It was known as Mathura and Mathurai also, and the Sursen was known as Sursenai. Who called it like that? Greek people. यूनानी जो लोग थे वो उसको इस तरीके से एड्रेस करते थे. So next it is Shivi tribe. I did not let you know before, though I mentioned it in third, because this had been the most important one. Why Shivi had been important one? Because right now if we remember Udaipur portion, this is completely connected from that. But it was not from beginning there. At first this was a tribe. What was Shivi? A tribe. You know tribe means nomadic people who used to roam from one place to another place in search of food or in search of just collecting their livelihood. So in beginning this Shivi tribe lived in Pakistan. Where did they live? In Pakistan. And then when they were there, at that time a ruler was there. His name was Shushin. He attacked there. And about 10 tribes together fought to him, but they could not defeat the ruler Shushin. So who was the one who was not defeated by these tribes? Shushin. And about 10 tribes were there. So these all 10 tribes left that place and they went to different places. So at first the Shivi tribe, they went to Punjab. And they did not find their suitable area. So later on from there, they reshuffled and they shifted to Udaipur area or Mewat area. So then their capital has been converted to Nagari or Mewat and then it has been come forward. So this is what Shivi. If we talk about, अभी आप जब महाराणा प्रताप वगैरह ये सारी चीजें आप देखते हैं सुनते हैं तो आपने सुना होगा महाराणा प्रताप को एकलिंग जी का दीवान कहा जाता है. So this Ekling and the Shivi tribe, they both are completely connected to each other. Why? Because since that time they are from that place and later on they had been shifted there. So at first where Shivi tribe was residing? In Pakistan. At the second phase they shifted to Punjab and then the next phase they came to Rajasthan's Mewat. And what was their capital? Nagari. At first Nagari was their capital. Its name was taken as Chittorgarh later on. So these are the 4 Mahajanpadas of Rajasthan. What are the 4 Mahajanpadas? Jangal. And Jangal's capital is Ahichhatrapur. Jangal area कौन सा हो गया? बीकानेर, जोधपुर. And Ahichhatrapur recently known as Nagaur. Matsya, Jaipur, Alwar region. Its capital was known as Bairat. And at that time it was known as Viratnagar also. Then Shivi tribe and then Shivi Mahajanpad, both are similar in some ways but later different kinds. And Shivi's capital was Nagari. What was the capital of Shivi? Nagari. At time 3-4 has been mentioned but Nagari. Where it is mentioned in Mandsaur script. Where it is mentioned? In Mandsaur script. And the last one was Sursen and its capital was Mathura. This was from which place? It was in Udaipur. मथुरा तो कृष्ण भगवान वाला हम अभी भी जानते हैं समझते हैं. ये वही वाला मथुरा है जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं. So these are the 4 things and they were there at ancient times Mahajanpadas of Rajasthan. Now this Mahajanpadas phase has been done over and then when Mahajanpadas Kal was over, when Mahajanpadas time was over, at that time, now who came into existence or who came into rule? There had been the most important cities. Though all the Mahajanpadas had their own importance, but Magadh was there. I did not name you all 16 Mahajanpadas because they are given in your book. Ang, Vajji, Giribraha, these all are there. So out of them, the one which is mentioned is Magadh. And Magadh was the most important Mahajanpad of that time. Which was the most important Mahajanpad of that time? Magad. And this Magad was just the center point or the central India's peak point at that time. Though there had been some another rulers also, King Kuru and others, but Magad was the most important one. So now if we talk about Magad, there had been many dynasties ruling, but the one which is there in our knowledge or which is there in our knowledge through some books and all. So the first one was Haryanka dynasty. Which was that? Haryanka dynasty. Though this is not mentioned in your book, but then also we must know about it. Haryanka dynasty. So this Haryanka dynasty's famous rulers were Bimbisar and Ajatashatru. Afterwards we will have Bindusar named one ruler also. Do not get confused in Bimbisar and Bindusar. These are two different rulers in two different dynasties. Keep this in your mind. Bimbisar and Ajatashatru, they both were from their Haryanka dynasty, and later on Shishunak dynasty came into existence. But this Shishunak dynasty's rulers' names we do not have in any books mentioned. It's just said that they were there. After that, Nanda dynasty. Which dynasty came? Nanda dynasty. And Mahapadmanand and Dhananand are the two rulers of this dynasty. So if we talk about these two rulers, Bimbisar and Ajatashatru from Haryanka dynasty, though some people say that Shishunak dynasty was also the same one, but we do not have any written evidence of this. So we will just go through with this. Haryanka dynasty and Shishunak dynasty were separate, and Shishunak dynasty's any specific ruler's name we do not have with us. The next one was Nanda dynasty. After that, India's golden period actually begins. Though it was also known as good time, but it is not that, because that time India was not unified. India was being ruled by separate rulers in different parts. So Nanda dynasty was ended by Chanakya's disciple. Chanakya has been very famous as a guru, and his disciple Chandragupta Maurya is known as the only person who has unified India at first time. So if we talk about India's first central rule or first central ruling dynasty, which was the dynasty? The dynasty was Maurya dynasty. And who was the first ruler who unified India for the first time? Then the ruler was Chandragupta Maurya. And who inspired him to do so? His guru Chandragupta Maurya has inspired him to do so. These are 3 to 4 one-word questions which we can think about. After that, in your book, it is mentioned in separate portions about Arthashastra. And 4 marks questions are there. Now, out of them, Arthashastra question is the most important one. What would be the question? Write a detailed note about Arthashastra. Now, what is Arthashastra? Then you will write it properly, because it is given in the book at different portions. Like in one page, one line is given, and second page, second line is given. Though I am telling you, but you are supposed to collect those all lines together, and then you are supposed to prepare about 20 lines, because 4 marks question is there. So less than that would not go. You have to take this much words. About 100 words must be there in that. Without that, 4 marks would not be given. So be prepared for that. The most important question, Arthashastra. Write a detailed note about on Arthashastra. So who was the first ruler of this dynasty? Chandragupta Maurya. Who was Chandragupta Maurya? He was the disciple means student. He was the disciple of Chanakya. Now, this Chanakya, he led him to do so. And what is this story? You have seen it many times, you have heard it many times. So, without wasting time on that, we will just move on to this Chanakya's students or their dynasties. The first one was Chandragupta Maurya. CGM. C for Chandragupta, C for Chandra, G for Gupta, and M for Maurya. Actually, he was the ruler who took his dynasty's name as per his mother. His mother's name was Mura, and he gave this name from Mauryas. Next, Bindusar. As I told you, just before some time I told you about Bimbisar also. And then I told that do not get confused in Bimbisar and Bindusar. These are two different rulers. So here comes Bindusar. he is the ruler in which dynasty? He is the ruler in Maurya dynasty, and he was the son of Chandragupta Maurya, and Bimbisar was father of Ajatashatru. Who was Bimbisar? Father of Ajatashatru. Next, here comes Ashoka, the greatest ruler. As I tell you many times in class when I teach you, that there are 5 greatest rulers of the world, and among them only one is there who is known as the greatest ruler of the world. He is Sikandar. Rest all 4 are from India. We are lucky to have those rulers. So Ashoka, he was known as one of the greatest rulers, though at times in beginning he had been a cruel ruler, but later on he was just shifted and he had been a very kind and generous ruler for his public. At other rulers' time, taxes were also taken, and how much taxes? 1616 tax was taken, but Ashoka reduced it up to 1/8 portion of their complete growth. He reduced this also, and even if we talk about the previous rulers like Nanda dynasties and all, then they used to take half portion of their entire grown areas. How much? From there. So this is what about our Maurya dynasties, and in the next class we will talk about Maurya dynasties administration. That's all for today. Thank you.